Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. And joining us now is Ojy Okpe with stories trending around the world. Hey, Ojy, good morning.
Good morning, Leila. How are you?
Hello,
Good morning, Dr. Bati. Good morning, Tundu. Happy Friday.
Yes, thank God it's Friday.
GIF, always. And good morning to you, viewers. We begin what's trending today in Nigeria. Yesterday, social media was abuzz with news that the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja dismissed the case filed by photographer Busola against Pastor Biodun Fatoyinbo of the Commonwealth of Zion Assembly, Koza. Busola filed the suit against Fatoyinbo after alleging that he raped her in 2002 and caused her emotional distress. The judge presiding on the case, Justice Otman Musa, in giving the judgment, held that the case was statute barred and that the matter amounts to injustice and abuse of judicial process, adding that the case is empty and purely sentimental. The judge also awarded costs of 1 million naira against Busola and held that the fine should have been 10 times more because the court's time was wasted. Many Nigerians on social media were outraged with the court's decision. Writer and journalist Fisayo Soyombo wrote on Busola and Biodun Fatoyinbo, "When the people cannot trust the nation's most fundamental institution, an indefinite invitation to anarchy is on the table. This growing judicial erosion of public trust will spark a spike in how people take the law into their own hands." While majority of social media users were outraged, others took a different tone. Founder of Sapphire Sense, Adewale Alajana, and actress Tonto Dike, took to their Instagram to congratulate the pastor. The actress posted a comment suggesting that the money awarded to the pastor should be used to feed the IDP, also stating that you cannot mock God. Right, I know that we have discussed this in detail in the headlines, and I think that we cannot talk much about it because we don't really, like you said, know the details of the court's decision.
No, but we do know the quotes. The judge was quoted, unless the reporters are lying. Right. So we can't discuss that.
We cannot assess a judgment on the basis of newspaper reports.
No, but from the unless they're lying. We do have those
and,
quotes.
Competently.
Yes. Yes, but I will say from the quotes that were given, I found some of them perfectly in order. If you as a judge feel that this is a frivolous suit that was brought, you need to put that in the strongest terms to deter future litigants and their legal representatives from filing frivolous suits. The courts are overburdened as it is. If the merits of the case do not warrant any kind of a different judgment, that's fine. In his opinion, she has said she will appeal, and appellate courts might feel differently. Yes. I don't like the part where he felt the need to mention that it's based on cruelty, not out of seeking justice. I thought so too. He's cast her as vindictive. Why I didn't put that in the script, because yes, that's not nice. It's unkind. I'm not even sure if that's what he said. That would if he said that, really that's a quote, unless they lied on him. So if that's the quote, that I feel went a bit too far. Yes. You don't need to cast aspersions on the person and call somebody vindictive, and which is pretty much
that
it.
On what grounds exactly? Right. Because he's coming out as if he's reviewed this entire case and he has all the proof in the world that she just came here to lie. That's what he's saying.
About intention. Then it makes the courts look bad if that's exactly what he said. The courts we're not sure if that's what he really said, because I mean
that for me is that's difficult for me to accept.
Can a judge express an opinion?
Of course he can.
You can, but you shouldn't have expressed that type of opinion.
That particular sentence of cruelty is making her to be. So that for me is another victimization. Right. As a judge, he has every right to say whether or not the sexual assault happened, this particular suit is frivolous. He has every right to say that. Praying for a letter of apology, praying a court to order a letter of apology, if a judge wants to say that's frivolous, he has every right to say that. Yes. He has to direct the kind of things that people feel they can bring to a court. That's fine. But it is to victimize the person again, to call them vindictive in that way.
Would the judge have made the statement on the basis of evidence before him and representations made by counsel?
Even if he did, you need to couch things in such a way as he is an officer in the temple of justice. What he has to do is manage the kind of cases that are brought before the courts, yes, and also he has a duty to manage the way victims are perceived in society. That kind of a statement, making her sound vindictive, is an insult to anybody who's been a victim of any kind of assault. Exactly. That, for me, went too far.
But when you say evidence, what sort of evidence? evidence, because clearly they have said that the case is statute barred, right? It's
Yes.
like it's too long of a time to actually
20
review
years.
that type of case.
I'm
So I
asking the
don't
same
know
question.
what, you know.
He didn't need to add that
what
part.
type of-
Dismissed on the grounds of no evidence.
Right.
You're speaking as though you have
As if you
evidence.
have
Fact of the matter
evidence,
is it
correct.
happened 20 years ago.
Right.
There is minimal evidence. We do not have the rape laws to support people in that kind of position. So you as a judge have no right whatsoever to act as though you really know what you're saying here, because you only could have dismissed it on the grounds that you have no sustainable evidence.
Right.
Well, I don't know whether we are competent to sit in judgment over the court. You know.
No, absolutely I will, because I'm a member of this
She
society,
is,
so I absolutely am.
But then
it's wrong of him to cast aspersions on her intention in that way. She did not file to obtain justice. It was out of cruelty. No.
Yes.
No.
But
And
let's
this
see
is
what
very
happens
hard
at
for
the level of the appeal.
Right.
And let's see whether the police, as they have promised, would file any criminal
Correct. The
charge.
police
But
have
as
said
I
that they're
said
going to
before you
continue to
came,
investigate
that
on the
don't
case,
put your bets on that.
We shouldn't, right?
No.
Well, you know, meanwhile, Busola Dakolo has reacted to the judgment issued. The photographer took to her Instagram page where she expressed her surprise at the court's decision and referred to the decision as a victory. She wrote, "Today I am glad that my voice is not silenced, and this is a victory for me. I must encourage every woman out there to keep the pace and never stop voicing out against the evil of rape and sexual abuse. Do not be dispirited by today's court's decision. No judgment has been made declaring the innocence of Mr. Biodun Fatoyinbo. It must be stated that while our experience have a shared theme, the circumstances are different." I mean, she's just a powerful woman. I'm so proud of her.
We admitted that earlier.
Yes.
That, you know, there is no gain, no loss, or
Right.
did I put it earlier? That what she's been able to do is to empower other young
Correct.
women,
Continue to do that.
raise the level of conversation about rape, focus on a major issue in our country, and that with her example, you know, and with this case, there may be a greater advocacy for the amendment of the relevant laws on rape in Nigeria.
Right.
Because I think that is where the problem really
I
is.
completely agree
You know,
with
and
you.
then people having the courage, the confidence to come forward when rape occurs, when they've been violated, and to say, well, Busola Dakolo stood up when it happened to her, even if 20 years later, I will stand up right now and
Right.
push this case.
She should
So
stand
there
up
is a
first.
window,
Yes.
you know, of hope you know, in that direction.
Yes, I like that. Well said, Dr. Abati. Still in Nigeria, the governor of Kaduna State, Nasser El-Rufai, yesterday knelt before the people of Kogi State, asking them to forgive Governor Yahaya Bello for any wrongdoing he had done. While addressing the crowd at the All Progressive Congress rally in Lokoja, El-Rufai said Bello was young when he became governor and had made many mistakes. While on his knees, he said Bello had since retracted his steps. The Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, also knelt down to plead with the people on behalf of Bello.
Recorded by the APC government under Governor Yahaya Bello is more than what the PDP has tried to do in 13 years. Many people say Yahaya Bello is young, that he has fought many people. For everyone that the governor has offended, I am asking all of you to forgive him. He is young. He is supposed to make mistakes. When you are young, you make mistakes, but you learn from them. On his behalf, I am kneeling down to beg all of you to forgive Yahaya Bello if he has offended you. But he cares about the people of Kogi State. He cares about this state. He has brought progress.
I can't get over how ridiculous that looks.
No, that is ridiculous.
But you should applaud his humility, though. He actually knelt
No,
down.
I'm all for humility. No, I'm Yoruba. We kneel down willy-nilly. That's not the issue. My issue is just performing office that other people don't have to. It's not by kneeling. When I go with my voter's card to vote, I'm not going to go, well, this person didn't perform.
Thank
This
you.
person, I'm not satisfied with what they did.
But the person is young.
Because somebody knelt down, okay, it doesn't make any sense. It should be about performance.
then what about the crowd cheering as well?
You know, you appeal to the mind of the people.
Okay.
But what I'm not too sure of is whether the people of Kogi State will be impressed by a man from Kaduna State kneeling down, and a man from Edo State joining him. I noticed that Yahaya Bello himself was just standing. maybe if he had knelt down, maybe that would have made some sense.
It's so funny.
I mean, some other people are likely to look at it and say, people are kneeling down on his behalf. Look at him standing up arrogantly.
Well, that's a lot of comments. People have said that at the same time.
But in any case, I don't think that the people will be fooled by that. If a free and fair process is allowed in the elections tomorrow, and the people are allowed to exercise their, franchise, their mandate, their, freedom of choice freely, then of course it wouldn't matter.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm just
so funny.
People have shown on social media too that Rufai, that he seems to enjoy kneeling down all over the place. I've seen quite a number of pictures showing him kneeling down.
Rufai.
Thank you, Ojy.